Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, HOMS Assist was recently acknowledged at the National Law Awards in the areas of personal injury and medical negligence. The law firm, with offices in Dublin, Limerick and Cork, is planning to grow and create 30 new jobs over the next 3 years. Senior partner with HOMS Assist, Robert Bourke, joins us now to discuss the performance of the law firm. But Robert, I'd like to start the interview by delving into the history of HOMS Assist.
Morning, Karl. Thank you for having me on the show. In 1976, before my time, we set the precedent for civil litigation in Ireland in a case called McNamara versus ESB. And that was a case where a young lad climbed over a poor fence to get his ball out of an ESB substation and suffered horrific injuries when he was electrocuted. And that case, established the standards of practice and negligence and standards of care to be provided by industry people, anybody else in relation to when somebody does get injured.
And of course, more recently, personal injury claims have been under much scrutiny, with government intervening to curtail the level of damages awarded for such claims. Have you seen a downturn in the number of personal injury claims and indeed payouts coming through as a result?
It was felt that the compensation levels were too high, and that feeling was there. It was too high for minor injuries and too low for serious injuries. And the judicial guidelines, which were brought in April 2021, reduced minor awards by 40%. And you can see those awards in the courts, but also in the Injuries Resolution Board reflect that reduction. And they can be quite small. That is a system that is teasing itself out at the moment. And the judicial guidelines are to be reviewed every 3 years. And I think there's a review going to happen again this year.
What complications have these new personal injury guidelines actually identified to date?
The guidelines have actually shown that very specific reasons must be given in both the Injuries Resolution Board and also in the courts as to why they're making this award and in relation to the injuries they're ascribing the award to. So, there's an award for the dominant injury, and then there's an uplift for the remainder of the injuries. So often the dominant injury could be a broken leg, but then there could be also scarring, there could be soft tissue injuries, there could be a psychological injury involved if somebody was knocked off a bicycle and suffered a bad injury. So often the other injuries, they're dealt with by the way of an uplift, and normally there's about a 25% reduction for those injuries. So it has reduced damages for the minor injuries, definitely. Has it an effect on the number of claims being taken? I'm not so sure. I haven't seen the figures in recent times because they're about there's about a 2-year lag, a year and a half to 2-year lag from the Injuries Resolution Board on publishing their figures. So we're not sure where those are at the moment, but I do know that the demand for specialised legal services is growing, and we're growing as a result of it.
And of course, well-known businessman and entrepreneur Pat McDonough from Supermax has been very outspoken about fraudulent claims. Is that something that you've ever witnessed yourself over the years?
Well, you'll see, there's always examples in the court of cases being taken and cases being withdrawn or thrown out for various reasons. There are always people out there who will try their luck too much, and that is to the prejudice then of the people who suffer genuine accidents and genuine injuries. And so we must try to eliminate the bad apples and deal fairly with the people who do suffer the injuries.
And what do you think can be done to prevent fraudulent claims from being made?
Well, I think in fairness, the insurance industry and the solicitors and the judges do give a very good, if I would call it, investigation into a person in relation to the to the genuineness of the person in relation to it. I think in relation to the circumstances of the accident, and every claim I understand by the insurance industry is thoroughly investigated. Any first claim that comes into us in relation to it, we would do, as much checking as is possible to ensure that the claim is genuine. It's no good to us if somebody's bringing a fraudulent claim. We don't want to know them. But so we do our own review of the files, and the judges are up there as well, always looking to make sure that the person before them is a genuine person with a valid claim.
And do you think that there's a perceived stigma attached to pursuing a personal injury claim here in Ireland?
I don't think so. It's what we pay insurance for, and it's like every society and country has a compensation scheme for personal injuries. It's the duty of every society to protect people who are injured due to the fault of another and to compensate them for their losses. And it also works as a deterrent to unsafe practices, like not having proper fencing around an ESB substation or a guard around a machine at work, or proper medical practices, or proper driving on the roads.
As a lawyer that has specialised in personal injury claims for many years, what advice have you got for business owners listening this morning about how to go about avoiding such claims?
Risk assessment is key, I think, in relation to it. That and to get proper advice from health and safety experts in it, and ensure that you have full knowledge of the regulations that may apply to your business. Ensure they're updated, and make sure that when systems are put in place that they are followed, because it's the breakdown. It's one thing to have a system in place, but to have the system complied with on a daily basis is probably the most important thing, and it's the breakdown of that system that often leads to an accident and an injury occurring.
And of course, HOMS is very much on a growth trajectory right now. So what are your growth plans for years ahead?
The growth plans for the future, there's a growing demand for specialised services, and you can see it across all industries, medical, insurance, legal, accountancy, digital, tech. So we have, at HOMS Assist, we in 2014 formed HOMS Assist, and that was to provide a specialised legal service to the man in the street or the person in the street in relation to medical negligence, personal injuries, road traffic accidents at work, and also civil litigation in wills and probate, and that has proved successful. We were recently awarded Law Firm of the Year for personal injuries and medical negligence in the Irish Law Awards.
And what role could AI play in the legal world in the years ahead?
AI is going to play a huge role in the legal world, from research to writing documents to analysis of reports, analysing thousands of pages of discovery, in that AI would be able to do it instead of a team of people doing it and taking many months. That AI can do it in a very short period of time. And, AI, I think, is going to change the legal world, is going to change all our worlds. It may not be today or tomorrow, but I think it's going to be in the next 10 years that AI is certainly going to change everything that we do. I think the man in the street who we deal with, who needs someone to mind them, who needs to deal with their case, present it for them, talk to them, develop a relationship with them, will always need the lawyer for him, and we can use then the AI we have for that benefit. But I think the interpersonal and the nature of the relationship between the lawyer and the client is something that won't be replaced by AI, but I certainly think AI will make us hugely more efficient at what we do, and probably cheaper to society at large that legal services costs will come down.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Robert Bourke, Senior Partner with HOMS Assist, and I'd like to thank Robert for joining us on this morning's show.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.